my gosh. Was that a premiere or what? Was that a premiere? Oh, it was definitely a premiere. Or what? Hi, welcome back to Saku Renaissance. My name is AJ, and this is AJ Saku Renaissance. In this classroom, we're blossoming, and we're changing the world. We are changing the conversation, directing it elsewhere. We're talking about topics and themes that are always on your mind, that you always want to talk about, but we are just gonna take a short left. We're just gonna divert from the main road, from the highway. Okay, we like to take it real low here. Jokes. But apart from taking it low, we are not taking the usual routes. We're not going from Cape to Cairo. We're tired. Everybody's always going to Cairo from Cape Town, bro. Let's start Komafike, Rieko, fucking Sicily, bro. Like, why are we stopping on the continent? Why can't we swim in the ocean, in the abyss? So I record my episodes and my intros separately. This is the intro for episode 2 for season 1. Are you guys excited? Are you guys ready to hear what we're talking about today? It's always something, you know. You don't wanna end up with a heartburn-like situation, so we're gonna take in a deep breath. And then we're gonna exhale. If you want to do that again, you're more than welcome to. Just to clear your mind, clear your thoughts, you know, so we can get into the thick of it. I'm talking about in it. Jokes. I know I may sound different today, but you're just gonna have to deal with it, man. You're just gonna have to deal with it. It will get better. I think maybe I should edit more, but I really don't like when things become superficial. Like, it's all about, oh my gosh, how she added that sound, how she did that is so cool. Like, I just want you to hear what I'm saying. Like, I want it to be as if you were in the room right now and we are having this conversation. Like, oh my gosh, girl. No, I don't want it to be like voice notes I'm sending to you, brah, and then, no. I want it to be like you. Like, I don't even want it to be a phone call. I want you to teleport into this room, sit with me, and talk to me. Okay, not for real, cause like, hey, not a serial killer, but you know, in my imagination, in my fantasy world where horrible things don't perpetuate themselves in our reality. See there, I want you sitting in a cute little circle with me in a room with our red lipstick, red cherry lipstick. Oh, and our glasses. And I don't know, whatever floats your boat. You know, a Red Bull, a glass of wine, a game, bottle food if you want, water, you know. But sweaty truth, bring your truths. Let's talk, man. Let's talk. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm wasting time. Let's head into today's episode. I hope you've cleared your mind. I hope you're having a good day. And I hope you're ready to share some insight as well. Can't make me do all the heavy lifting alone. Okay, I'm done, I swear. I hate what distance does to relationships. I really do. It's like you see someone every day and you guys talk about the happenings of life, continuous concepts that you develop with one another, and you wish that it could stay the same forever. But then the thing was with distance is that it will make the heart grow fonder. But when you have an opportunity to talk to this person, it's like, okay, you're asking about their daily life and they give you like a short, brief summary because you're no longer part of that realm which they exist in. And he just kind of like takes away from this special bond that you share with the person. It's like you have so much to talk about, but then it's like, will this person care? And it's not with all relationships, but it's with most relationships. And by relationships, I mean family bonds, I mean friendships, I mean acquaintances, I mean colleagues, I mean classmates, you know, I mean roommates. There's just a detrimental effect that distance has on relationships. And fuck that. Honestly. Distance tears the most beautiful relationships apart. And we should fight it. I mean, you could meet up with your star-crossed friend or lover or cousin or sister or whatever, and you guys could really get into depth about how much you've missed each other, what's been going on, what do you think about the crisis that the world is in right now, because the world is always in a crisis. I'll tell you that. We've gone from the apocalypse with the dinosaurs to human evolution to the race for Africa to colonialism to oppression to slavery to autocratic governments to women's fighting for their right to vote and be educated and to gay liberation, to black liberation, to taking back Afro culture, to wars in Palestine, to civil wars, to just a lot. Okay, and then on top of that, we just have capitalism weighing on our heads. So if you find yourself having nothing to talk about with your soulmate or your soulmates, because fuck monogamy as well, fucking patriarchy, benefiting from distance. But yeah, it's a capitalism taking over. If you have nothing to talk about with your soulmate because maybe they're going through a certain strife, which because you're no longer in their life every day, they maybe don't feel as comfortable opening up or whatever. There's always the critical state of the world to talk about. I mean, South Africa is a joke, but it is a liberated joke. It is a place where people can find their voice and be themselves and grow ever eternally in this democratic space. Okay, as long as you ignore the really grotesque things that are happening in this country, and I'm not going to dive into that. I'm gonna focus on the positives. But also, for you to get into a space with that person on a regular basis, be it monthly, be it biannually, be it, I don't know, that time which you can find to spend time with this person or persons, it requires money. And now if it's not just one person, you're gonna be spending money like crazy. Okay, because sitting down at a restaurant is no longer just 100 rand. Sitting down anywhere is no longer just 100 rand. Then you have to factor in transport. You have to factor in the gifts you want to get them because they're so special to you and your life. Like you probably will accept the reality that sitting down for food and drinks is probably not the best economical decision for both of you right now, and you'll say, okay, I'll just come see you where you are. One of you will make the compromise and say, I'll come see you where you are, and we'll just sit on your bed, on your couch, in the garden, or take a walk in the streets and just talk, about life. But then again, there's a cost of that as well. There's a cost for water, there's a cost for breathing air. So the economy will challenge you on how dare you want to live in this life. And I guess I'm recording this as kind of like a venting session about the friends that I miss and how I'm forced to build new relationships that will fulfill me the same way that others have. And then again, there's also the thing of accept what God has extracted from your life because it's gonna bring more fruition. And there are friendships where I felt like, okay, maybe they dissipated into thin air for that reason. But some friendships, I feel like the devil just robbed them from my life because I really needed those fucking people. They were part of my being. So I encourage you to defy capitalism, to defy the forces of evil, if that's if I dare call them that. Sometimes it's not evil, sometimes it's capitalism. Defy those forces and but what was I saying? defy these constraints that have been put in our lives not to live life. Living life includes spirituality, living life includes companionship, living life includes art, living life includes experiences, and more each day, it just seems like life is becoming about what food can you put on the plate, what can you provide for an education so that someone can make a living for themselves, when in fact they're not making a living for themselves. They're just becoming slaves to the market of the small portion of the world that gets to live life. And they're also not living life because they have to deal with the horrible things that they do to secure themselves in these positions that they've put themselves in. But I guess they are living life because they kind of like take a thrill and enjoyment from these scrutinous, disastrous, disgusting things that they do to other people. Because we're all equal at the end of the day. At some point, we are all going to look back and be like, was it worth it? Because I had this sense of power back on earth or in my other life or whatever. And now, which we don't know what waits for us on the other side. Yes, we want to believe that what is written in the holy scriptures, any holy scripture of your choice and belief, we want to believe that that is what happens on the other side, and therefore we try to act accordingly towards that. But the truth is, we don't know that. As much as I'm a saint in this world right now, that is the gift and fruition I will get once I get to the other side. The other side could just be a blank space where you are allowed to do whatever you want and fuck with people in this realm. You don't know. And the other side could be nothing. You only know of what happens in the living world. And no one can tell me that they are certain for sure. Even those who claim to have went to hell and back, the truth is, or heaven and back, the truth is you experience that in this era of living. But you're entitled to your belief, of course. I don't know, I'm on a tangent. But what is most important to take from this is live life. Really live life. Don't take the important things for granted, because that is what white supremacist males want from you. Okay, whenever you rob yourself of a really fulfilling moment or relationship or experience, remember Hitler, remember the Romanovs, remember, even though they were good people, remember Trump. Do you want to make Trump happy? Remember Zuma. Remember the Guptas. Remember. Okay. Remember Queen Elizabeth. Oh my gosh. She took one for the team when it came to women, but she also dropped the ball. Remember these people and don't forget them, and take charge of your own life. Make the mistakes that you ought to make, but let them be worthwhile. Let them be worth the risk of defiance, rebel, revolutionize. But also remember to be considerate and human, have humility towards other people. Because now I'm not saying go out and cause chaos. I'm just saying, like, take charge of your life in the best direction as possible. Don't let them close you off into your room and suffer from depression because you feel like you're hopeless, and then find the strength and motivation to go out and serve their needs and wants, in as much as your being doesn't want you to be anywhere because you've given up on yourself. But you still, you've been entrenched with this education that if you don't go out and serve not the world and serve the self inaugurated, self positioned kings of this world, at least if you were serving a queen who actually stands for her own femininity, feminine power, that would be something. Jewel says, serving people with balls, really shrivelly, wrinkled, stinking balls that sometimes have red rash on them. Think of it like that. Think of it like that. Well, it's been 15 minutes, so I'm gonna shut my ear hole. Laugh at me, criticize me, join me, understand me. But I'm glad you have listened. Mwah. Um, Hope you guys enjoyed the session with Lois. It was more of a rant actually about capitalism and all of that, but in terms of distance, I hope what you got is that you shouldn't let work, life, or anything get in the way of relationships that you really still want to care for. Make time for your loved ones, and yeah, really don't be ignorant to impact of basically politics and the state of economy has on our social lives. Yeah, just always try and seek out the things that you really care about and that mean the most to you and the people that you love. So yeah, bye lovies, see you next time in episode 3.